Hey yo, ba 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 ba. Stream starting soon. Gotta get the shares out there. Hello. I'm very excited about this one. Gonna give out that good information for the people. Doing it for the people. Sharing is caring. Share it if you like it. Bam, 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 bam. Bow, 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 better to bow. Dum, bow, better to better to better. Sharing it. Let me get my shares out there to the groups and schmoops. And then I gotta get one little instrument. I have instruments involved in today's broadcast, giving out the good stuff. Let me get my shares out there to the groups and schmoops. Get my Twitch rocking and socking. I wish I could just share without starting a watch party every time, but I mean, that's fine. We'll just keep it rocking. It's a party all the time anyway. Whoop, 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 whoop. Share. Oh, not that one. Not that one. That one. Get it in my boop, boop, boom. Share to these guys. Yep. And now, share to my story. Yeah. All the options. Big old Beddington. Share to the people. Whoa. All right. That's enough sharing. I have one more. How to build a Whopper. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm building a Whopper. Psych. No music secrets. No, I'm just kidding. I got one more thing to get ready. I need some keys. You guys need keys for me to properly explain what I'm doing. I like mallets. I'm going to go with my classic. I used to use this set of keys in every single song. So nice. So pretty. Ableton. All right. Whoa, we're live on all the things. All right. I will be back in exactly 47 seconds as I go use the restroom. And then we are ready to go. And he's back. Don't worry, Mom. The video's coming. I got to keep the suspense going. Woo! That's me. Hello. Welcome to my 5th Portal City podcast, 3rd live and direct solo podcast. My name is Mikey. I make music and perform as Dreadlock, and I started doing this podcast to give y'all an invitation into my brain. And today we're really going deep. We're going into that good information. I'm really excited about today. I'm going to be talking about the absolute basics of music theory, kind of what it is and how I interpret it. And also the understanding that, it's more than, you see all this stuff behind me back here. We're not going to talk about that at all. That is all stuff that I learned the very basics of it when I was a child in school, but that's not what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about a way to look at music theory and interpret it for yourself. So, and yeah, I have a Camelback this time for my water. Yeah. So, let's get it started. So, music theory. Right there, it tells you it's a theory, right? So a theory is not a law. There's theories in where it's basically, you know what? I have the internet. I'm going to tell you the definition of a theory. That'll help me explain this better. A system of ideas intended to explain something. So, music theory is basically a bunch of rules and regulations that we as humans have come up with using frequencies and the space between frequencies to create music. And there is a very basic set of guidelines that you can start with that will guarantee that things sound good. And then from there, you can do whatever you want. So the way I have come to think about this and my whole approach to music is because it's easy to get overwhelmed when thinking about music and all of the possibilities. You've got all these notes, all these different octaves, all these different instruments, all these different sounds, all these different ways to go about it. So I realized that I create boxes. So I create small boxes with unlimited possibilities inside of them. So let's get started. So with music theory, the first thing you want to understand is that you have there are the 12 notes. There's A sharp. Well, okay, before I get into what the notes are exactly, all the notes are separated by what are called half steps and whole steps. Okay? So a half step is generally from one note directly up to the next note, and a whole step normally skips a note. Okay? So from A to A sharp is a half step. And from A sharp to B is also a half step. Now, from B to C is a half step. There's no B sharp. And that's because it's just these are just frequencies. The notes are just frequencies that exist, and the half step and whole step is just the space in between them in order for them to work together to make music sound good. So, in order for that system to work, there has to be, there can't be a B sharp, because otherwise the system wouldn't work in a cycle the way it does so perfectly. So, also, I'm going to do everything in sharps just to keep it simple, but um, A sharp is a half step from A to A sharp and then A sharp to B. But if you were going the other way, I could use terminology of a flat. So I could say B flat and A sharp are the same note, the same frequency. So if I was counting down, I would say B, B flat, A. And going up, I'll say A sharp, B. But to keep everything consistent, I am going to I am going to I'm going to keep everything in sharps just to keep it all consistent and easier to understand. So, from A to A sharp, we've got a half step. A sharp to B, another half step. B to C is a half step. C to C sharp is a half step. C sharp to D. D to D sharp. D sharp to E. Now, here's another one. From E to F is a half step. No E sharp. If somebody says E sharp, they are lying or they mean F. F to F sharp is a half step. F sharp to G. G to G sharp. And then after G sharp, we're back at A. That is every single note that exists in all of music theory, no matter how advanced. It's always going to be an octave is one section of all of these notes together, basically. So if you go from A to A, and then you go to another A sharp that's higher than that one, that is starting a new octave. And so that's what the word octave means. It's basically what frequency range you're inside of. Gotta record. Whoa. Sorry, I had to record my audio on my Ableton session here so I can get this stuff on the interwebs. Okay. So, and I'm not going too much into the technical stuff because that really thank you. Oh, I'm not supposed to interact with you guys yet. Haha. But but um that the technical aspect of it I'm just covering basically because I think it's important to understand a little bit. Um so okay, so we've got all of these half steps one after another, A to A, you're in one octave, okay? And that's all the notes. And I can actually show you on a piano. Now, great. Now this lesson is going to get into how you can apply a really with and you don't even have to think about the letters and all of that. I'm going to get to that in a second. You don't have to focus on that as the primary part of your learning if you want to actually play an instrument, because that's definitely not what I did. But I think having a basic understanding of how the spacing works on a piano is super important. This is the simplest layout for what music theory notes are in all of existence. So I'm going to start with A since I started with A. So that's here. This is an A note. And then each key on a piano is a half step. Okay? All the black ones are sharps and flats, but I'm going to just say sharps for now. And all the white keys are your whole notes. Okay? So this is A sharp, B, C, C sharp. You see how each one just magically sounds like it's rising in perfect sequence with the last one? That's because we're geniuses. And music is it's made to work. Okay? So that's what the half steps are. Now, that is the basic layout of everything where you start. And then how does that become music that you can play? That is where scales come into play. Okay? So a scale is a combination of notes that are played in order with a certain amount of spacing to sound to fit within a key. And I'm trying to go with, a basic explanation off the dome of what exactly a key and a scale is. If you want to look up what a scale and what a key and a chord and all that stuff means, that can also help. But I've kind of got my way of thinking about this that I think is a little bit easier to relate to. So a key is basically, to me, a combination of scales and chords that can all be played together and sound together. So when you're listening to a song, generally it's going to be in the key of whatever. If a song is in the key of C major, then if there's a saxophone in it, he's probably playing notes in the key of C major. There's a guitar in it, he's probably playing chords within the key of C major. Now, the key is the word, I can say the word probably with every single thing that I say because it's all just a theory. There is a time and a place to go outside of the simple basic box that we're starting with. But starting within the basic beginning of it is that's exactly how I was able to actually start playing instruments. And I applied the same exact thinking to all of the instruments that I play, and I'll get into that later. So, but not to get too into exactly what they are. A scale will be eight, well, I guess it's 7 notes arranged in order and spaced by a certain amount so that you can, I'm just going to do it by ear and by visual also. Oh, I even have, okay. So let's start with a major scale. And the easiest one for me to do is C major because C major doesn't have any sharps in the scale. Okay. Wait. Oh, I have something. 1 second. My grandfather actually was a music theory major, and we were talking about scales and stuff the other day. And this is how it relates to the wholes and half steps that I was telling you. So a major scale, this pretty little drawing my grandfather made. A major scale, I'm going to show you the bottom right here, or bottom here, is going to be separated by a whole step, a half step, a whole step, a whole step, a whole step, and another half step. Okay? And that can start on any note that you start with. You're in that scale if you separate your next note by that much space every time. Anywhere. Doesn't matter where you start. If you do, and this is for major scale, and there's different types of scales, minor scales, there's different variations of minor and major scales, all with their own basically separation techniques or theories. So the easiest one to understand is a C major scale. Why? Because it's all white keys. I'm telling you, the piano is a basic genius instrument and can very easily turn the switch on your brain into understanding what the heck is going on. Okay? So a C major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then back to C. Okay, and that C is the end of this octave and also the beginning of the next octave. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Ta-da. It's really that easy. And now I'm going to do it again and count it out by wholes and half steps so you guys can see. So C, that's a half step, and this is a half step. So from here to here is a whole step. And remember, it's whole, half, whole, half. Okay? So we got C, whole, whole. Look, there's no black key in between here. Okay? Half, and then whole, whole, and then no black key again. Boom. Half step. Beautiful. Perfect. Works every time. Okay. And now, that's true for every major scale, no matter where you start, no matter what note you start with, and no matter what instrument you are on. Okay, so boom, look at this. What do we have here? If you play the ukulele, this is a super lesson for you because I'm also going to relate all of this to the ukulele, and string instruments in general are the same thing. So you don't have to understand anything to understand this. This note, this is a C note. It's the same. Same note, okay? Now, each fret on the ukulele is, guess what? A half step. That's it. Okay, and the difference in how string instruments work is the pattern is exactly the same from left to right on every single one, but there's different patterns up and down of combining the notes because this is a G, this is a C, this is an E, this is an A. So there's different patterns or they all mix together and stuff, but I'm not going to get too confusing on you. I'm just going to do exactly what I just did right here. So a C major scale on one string is C. This is the first fret, so a whole step. Okay, and then another whole step, and then a half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and then a half step. Bam. Exactly the same as the piano. It's all just whole steps and half steps all day. And yeah, it really is that simple to get a scale together. Now, each one of those notes is labeled by its position in the scale. So, I'm going to pull the piano back out. This is the root. The root is the note of whatever scale you're in. Whatever key you're in, the root note is the first note, okay? And the key to improvising is knowing where the root is, okay? My entire understanding of how all of my instruments playing works is what key am I in, where's the root note, and then it's just a spacing game from left to right, up to down, note to note on the saxophone, whatever, of what scale I'm in. And then as I developed, I found out when to play extra little notes in certain things, and it just develops over time. So, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And then this is your root again. Okay. And the reason I'm not going to get too far into chords right now, because I'm about ready to start getting into the ukulele specific and how you can practice this stuff pretty easily. Um, yeah, so let me actually real quick because I just went through a lot. If you guys are watching and if I said anything too fast, or if you want me to explain something again, let me know right now. I just pulled the chat back up. So let me know if there's anything that I need to go back over real quick from what I just covered about scales and keys. Okay, kind of confused. I got you. I will go back over, and if you're watching this, I will go back over anything as many times as I need to for it to just there's like a little click. An octave is an octave is 7 notes. Yes. So, okay, hold on. I actually have yeah, an octave is 7 notes. So from one note, and then you hear how this and this are the same, but one is higher. Does that make sense? Those are both a C note. So those in between that are is the whole scale. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then you're back to C. Yes. So yes, you what octave you're in is just where you start. And there's no names for the different octaves. You're just either a higher octave has higher notes. A lower octave has lower notes. That's it. They're one and the same. If you notice the keyboard just repeats itself. I wish I had a full-blown keyboard cuz it would exaggerate it. Whoops. But this is an octave and then this is a higher octave, but it's the same exact thing. And then on your full one, you could do this and go boop, and you would have the exact same thing and the exact same thing. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. So yeah, um okay. So if you understand that's a major scale. Now I'm going to see the chart. What chart? Oh, so the chart that I have is actually only a pentatonic, which is the next. I guess I should um yeah, I haven't gone into minor scales yet. So what everything that I just did was a major scale. Oh, aha, this bad boy right here. Okay. All this is a drawing of a keyboard. But this is the important information right here. So this right here is the spacing for a major scale. Okay. Do you remember what whole steps and half steps mean, right? On a key, a whole step skips a key, a half step is the very next key. Okay. Whole, half, whole, half. Now, I need a pencil or something so I can give you guys the one for minor because I think minor keys are as important. I most of the stuff I do is in minor keys, and they all have moods. Minor keys are typically more of a sadder kind of intense, like when you're watching a scary movie or a sad movie and everything's all whatever. That's like a minor key, and then major keys have this like happy kind of uplifting kind of feel behind it. So, real quick. Bum, 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 bum. I'm fact checking myself real quick because the technical information. Okay. So, minor keys are separated by whole, half, whole, half, whole. Okay. Um, shoot. Actually, 1 second. I'm gonna go grab a pen so I can write it down and you guys can copy it down. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. I had one in here. Okay. So, minor keys, and it's going from this way to that way. I know it shows up mirrored on the thing, but it's whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So, what that looks like on the piano, we're going to start bringing the black keys into the game. And see why um this was a little bit like I learned this probably like 4 or 5 different times that I can remember in various guitar classes, music classes, or guitar lessons that I took growing up. But it never made sense until I let go of the reading music aspect of it, and even the knowing which letter is which, like knowing all the notes in a scale. I mean I still can't even name them. It's just a spacing thing so that I can play music. Like once I just let go, I mean, it's all good information. And part of what I want to do is to understand and be able to know, okay, these are the notes that are in this scale. These are the notes that are in this scale. This one has this many sharps. I do want to have all that information. But to play music, you don't need it. If you want to play music and have fun doing it, you just need your way of understanding. So, C, this is going to be a little difficult. Okay, so where's my whole half a gram thing right here? So we've got a whole step. So this is C, and then a whole step, boop, and then a half step. Okay, and now so we half stepped up to here. So our whole step for the next one is going to be here, and then our next whole step. And then we've got another half step, so we're here. And then our half step, I mean, not a half step, we got another whole step, so we're here. And then whole step. Oh. So that was a wrong note. Did you hear how that just sounded wrong? It's just because we're playing with there's these rules that kind of just exist, and if you can tell when it's just wrong with your ear, and you don't really need that much to understand that. Like everybody, if you listen to this and you heard everything I had done, and then boom, that one note that was wrong, right? So, okay. So that's pretty much this one's hard. Yeah. Minor scales, it's just not as simple as a major scale. And in my opinion, like I personally started with a straight up major scale and that is it. Okay. To get started. And then I started with minor and then blues. But um it's so do you have the spacing written down? Because that's really the most important thing to understand is how far away you are from the note that you just played in the scale. Yeah. Okay, good. So now, I don't want to get too confusing on them, but here we go. I've got a little something. Bam. Okay. So that is what's called the C pentatonic scale. Now, the pentatonic scale was my favorite discovery in music of all time because when you're playing along to a key of music, every single note in that key doesn't work 100% of the time, right? So, like, if somebody's playing in the key of C major and you just go up and down the full, I believe it's the natural, I'm not going to try the terminology, but the full major scale, as I just explained it, is not going to sound great 100% of the time. You got a couple extra half steps in there that are going to that are better used with specific chords that are being played. And so that's it'll sound generally good, but if you're playing in a key and you just are playing the full major scale, it's not going to sound 100% great. The pentatonic scale, though, this guy, you literally cannot miss a note at all. No matter what you do, if you are playing a song in C major, if somebody is in C major and you play these 5 notes, how do I do this? I'm going to do this. Look at that. Like a weatherman. But if you play any of these 5 notes in any octave while C major is being played, the key of C major, you are going to sound like you know what you're doing. Even if that is like box number 1 when it comes to trying to improvise. Okay? So, like for example, if you're writing a song in C major and you want to add a little melody to it and you're trying but it's not sounding exactly how you want it, you can just say screw it to every other note and do some combination of these 5 and it'll work. And all they've done is they've taken the C major scale as I just showed it to you and subtracted 2 of them, the F and the B, okay, which is the 4th and the 7th, so that it's now a 5-note scale. And I will show it to you. It's exactly the same as what we were doing before, but and then we skip one. Okay. There is a pentatonic scale. So, Kenny, that is a perfect question. Everything I'm telling you, it is the same exact rule for every single scale, every key, every note. Okay? It's all about where you start. So, if you start on D or on C sharp, okay, and you go whole, half, whatever it was, whole, half, whole, half step, and you figure out what the full scale is from D sharp. Wait a minute. One of them is all black keys. I don't remember. Um. So sorry, getting a little too curious. But yes, the rules apply starting from wherever you start. So if you use the spacing for a major or a minor scale, and you find the full scale, and you take out the fourth and the seventh note from that scale, then you will have the pentatonic. Okay. Now, memorizing all of this, like just like memorizing the notes and all of that, that's not how I did it. Okay. What I would do is say, well, wait a minute, hold on. I also have this one. Okay. So that's the C minor pentatonic. It's exactly the same as the only thing that's different about this chart and the one before is that they added the root again. Okay. You don't always have to add that when you're thinking about it. So that's the 5 notes that you can repeat. And then the pattern always repeats itself every single time. At the end of every scale pattern is the beginning of the exact same pattern every time. Especially on a keyboard, it's always exactly the same. The only difference for this guy, okay, is if I do the C minor pentatonic, okay, then that's called first position, and then I can do it up here. That's the next position. It's just a different shape, a different combination of the same notes starting in a different place, but the spacing rules are always the same no matter what. And you go up an octave, it's the same thing. And so when you're playing, okay, so that's how I got started. So I guess I've covered most of the information slap that I'm gonna give to you guys for today, and then now I'll kind of explain how I applied this stuff to myself. So what I would do is I have another picture. Oh no, I don't have that picture. That's okay. It doesn't really matter. It was just a picture of YouTube search. But what I would do is you go on YouTube and you look up what's called backing tracks. Okay? Backing tracks are just we we live in a time of technology where you can just like people are trying to give out this information. People have dedicated their lives to making this information as easy to find as possible. I mean, I'm right here trying to give it out as best I can. Okay. So if you go on YouTube and you type in C major backing tracks, a whole unlimited amount of options, typically for guitar players is what it'll say, but it doesn't matter. It'll just be music, it's just background music of a loop within that key, and you can just play along to it. So what I would do is I would pull up the C, like say if I wanted to, learn how to play piano, okay? I would pull up a C minor backing track and I would pull up this chart right here in another window and I would start in one octave and I would just play up and down, okay? While the music is playing, okay? And you'll just start to you'll want to play in time because you're once like the music is in the room. That's kind of what my how my ear works. It's like I need everything in the room to be in key with itself. And everybody wants that. When you're if you picked up the yeah, learning placement tips would help a lot if you were learning the piano, definitely. Absolutely. But and I don't want to discourage people from learning as many of the technicalities as you can for all the different instruments because that is also important. I'm just offering a way to jump right into playing music and it sounding good. And that is the pentatonic scale. Absolutely. Um so if you're, say you learn the finger placements and you're okay? And then you don't have to play them all in order. You'll be playing along and you'll realize, okay, well, what if I just. Okay? And all I did there, I jumped one note down into the previous octave because you can see that the pattern is the pattern right below it, all of those notes are in play. The pattern right above it, the same pattern, all of those notes are in play. So you start in one octave and then you play little notes from another octave and then you can, you're moving from this octave to this octave and then you're just jumping around and that's how my entire development happened with the ukulele. I just I started with and then here's something cool. All I did, there's the blues note, okay? The blues scale is just the minor pentatonic plus one note, okay? I just added one note to what I was doing before and all of a sudden it's the blues. I mean, it's and so and you can look up, all of the different pentatonic charts, all of the different pentatonic patterns for any instrument out there. Somebody has sat down and made a whole chart with that information that you can pull up as a picture and look at while you're playing the instrument and music in the key of whatever chart you're looking at is playing. What tone is my keyboard in? It's just a MIDI. Um, it's a MIDI. So I have a MIDI keyboard plugged into. I'm running all of my sound for the podcast through Ableton, and so my microphone is coming through a channel in Ableton, and the keyboard is plugged into a channel in Ableton, and the ukulele is plugged into a channel in Ableton. Um, and I have this sound pulled up called the Bright Marimba, and I guess that that might be middle C. It's a really small. It's only a 32 key. Yeah, that's probably middle C. Like in general, of like if you had a grand piano, this is probably middle C. But it's just called a bright marimba. Actually, you know what? You know what I have? I have a grand piano sound. Yeah, there it is. So that's more like sounding like a piano. It's all just it's all just in Ableton. So yeah, these are just the Bright Marimba was an Ableton sound and the grand piano is a free sound pack. If you go to Ableton, you can download all of the sounds that they have. They have like a bunch of different sound packs for free that don't automatically download when you get them. I didn't even find out about that for a while. But yeah, it's just an Ableton sound. So now Let's see. Do we have any questions regarding? Do we have any questions regarding the information that I've covered? Basic overview. You know, music theory is just a way that we've separated, every note is a frequency, and we've figured out how we can separate these frequencies so that they sound good together. All a key is it's just a combination of scales, and a chord is just, you know, is just, a chord is just, you know, what's it called? A chord is just, multiple notes played at the same time. So that's like a C minor chord, because, and then, typically the first, third, and the fifth. I'm gonna cover chords in a later music theory podcast. I think, because chords, while they're important, they're more. The key to this is not to try to take on more information than you can, and, like, you know still be able to, like, you want to have something that you can practice. And I just found that keeping it as simple as possible is the best way to do it. So I just made everything, I made everything that I was trying to learn as simple as possible. And it made it more fun. I wanted to play the blues, and I found out the blues scale was just this plus one extra note, and then I was just playing the blues up and down, and then you just figured out that I can play the notes in a random order, and that would sound kind of cool. Um, so now I think that's all the information dump I'm about to do. And now what I'm about to do is a little ukulele demo. Oh, real quick, I forgot. I do have secrets for ukulele players. Big time, huge secrets. This website right here, okay? Uku Scales, UKUSCALES.com. This website, every time I don't open it much anymore, but it just keeps on getting better. And basically, I need to get this out of the way. But basically, how it works is you go click on it, and you can click on any note that you want. This is just a picture of it, but you can click on any note that you want, and it will give you all of the scale patterns from, this is your top note, this is your top string, and this is your bottom string. So it gives you all the scale patterns from, top to bottom of the whole thing. And so I used to just, like, say this is a major something or whatever. I would just open up this, pick a section, and just go up and down while that backing track in that key was playing. So if I chose the C major pentatonic, the full, all the notes in the C major pentatonic scale from up to down, from left to right, would just pop up on the screen, and I could just pick a section and go up and down and go up and down and then go up and down and go left and right, and then practice switching between different sections. And this website is the bomb. um, and there's also the same website for chords, Uku Chords, UKUCHORDS.com. It's the exact same concept. You click on any note, and then it just shows you the chord, and you can actually click on all of the different. You can actually click, and it'll show you all the chord on in every position, up and down, the fret of the ukulele. So that's really cool stuff for ukulele peeps. So now what I'm gonna do is I have a little demo I'm about to do. I have a backing track. It's called 7 Modes in One Backing Track. I'm not well versed on exactly what I'm doing. I have a pretty good understanding of how the spacing works, even though I don't know what the modes are exactly. But I'm just gonna play through some of this thing. I think it's pretty long. It's only 13 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna play the whole thing and just play along and see what I can do. Do some ukulele, do some keyboard. Should sound nice. So, yeah. Start with the ukulele. I hope that was some good information for you guys. I hope that you guys were able to take something away from this. All the video is saved. All my podcasts are saved. You can reach out to me, Michael Bost, or my Dreadlock page on Facebook or Instagram, or I don't know if you can just message on Twitch, but all of this stuff is all of this stuff is in my brain too. So, and I'm super down to to help out anybody who's willing to ask for it. And if you didn't understand something, don't be afraid to hit me up. I'll explain the same thing a million times. I had to explain the exact same thing to myself millions of times over and over and before I got it. And then, I just get it in my way, and then I'm still learning. I'm still learning all the time. I don't have anything perfected in any way. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little jam, and that'll be it for the talking for now. Well, I'll talk a little bit at first. So this is just a backing track in C major. I'm going to start by walking up and down the C major pentatonic. See, it's like no matter, it's like a cheat code. It's like those 5 notes, no matter where I start, where I end, typically ending on the root note will sound the best. But if you're in the pentatonic, you got it. You're in there. Notice the wrong note there? I slid into a... That's not right. Oh, it's going to switch on me. switched that to D on me out of nowhere. This is probably E, what I would guess. This is a weird one. Yeah, that was a weird one. I don't even know what that was. We'll see what this is. Huh. F something. I don't even know what the heck is going on here. See, in this situation, normally, oftentimes I pull up a key that I don't really know what it is, and I still pull up like a weird looking chart. And, you know, there's all kinds of chord, scales going on out there. I'm pretty sure this is one that I like, though. this is like a CD with this type of music. I do plan on doing something like that at some point. Some very chill, just like solo vibes. But yeah, this is what a, this is just like, I mean, yeah, this is like my 5th year of messing with the ukulele, and I learned a few, I looked up some chord shapes and chord progressions and learned how to play some and sing some songs that I liked. But, this right here, this process is just the same. This is what I've been doing for practice for the whole 5 years, and everything that I can do is just based off of that and learning more and expanding that more. It doesn't come from a deeper understanding of the explanations that I put out there. I even still was referencing the whole half. I don't have all of that stuff memorized. It's all here, just in my brain, just right here. Space patterns. You look at it, and then all of a sudden, I realized I wasn't looking at it, and my hands just know what they're doing. It's that's all it is. Is just practice and repetition to be able to play an instrument like this. And then when I started producing, that understanding of spacing, I just applied that to the piano, which is easier to understand than this. And then, that's how I figure out little melodies that I want to play. And, understanding, okay, this note is also in that key or whatever, that sort of thing. And you keep everything within a key, even when you're making dubstep and stuff, if it's like, wow, it sounds random, but it's not random. I promise you. If it sounds good, it's not that random. So yeah, that's what a typical practice session of me just, and I just learned a little bit right there. There was one key there, I don't even know what the heck was going on. I'm definitely gonna have to go back for it. So I don't know. To be honest, I kind of want to jam along to a jammy jam one more time. What else do we got? Oh, I gotta have some blues in here. I gotta have some blues in here. Yeah, let's see what this sounds like. All right, this is not exactly the kind of blues I was looking for. Well, I'm not gonna back out. Just it's a hard one, but it's playing. I'm gonna do it. Yo, quick tip. If you want to sing and you like music and you feel like you just like aren't good at singing or something, stop listening to that voice. Just go ahead and sing, because you're going to get better. You know, if your natural, not really ever practiced singing voice ability is here, practicing will get you here, 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 and it'll go up. If your natural voice is already up here, practicing will get you up. Not practicing will keep you wherever you're at. I just decided, to sing a while ago. I still am a bit skeptical on whether it's good or not, but it's good enough for me to write songs and sing them, so whatever. Tomorrow I'm getting a new pedal that'll let me some wah-wah sounds in Ableton. I can wow, wow, wow. What else do we got? This is one of my favorite songs to jam along to. Hopefully this isn't like a flaggable one, but this is some big wild. It's my joint. We're actually going to do that from the beginning, because I turned up some reverb. Yeah. So I didn't really know what I was doing on the keys, and I didn't know exactly what key it was. So I I just, figured out where the pentatonic was and lived there and just went up and down and back and around. You know, that's that's it. That's the bright marimba. If you go to sounds, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to hook it up real quick. I know it's black, but boom! If you go to sounds, under mallets, it's bright marimba. Definitely one of my favorite instruments to just play with. It's got a really quick pluck, pluck, pluck sound. Um, so it's easy to practice soloing with. It easily fits over through, music. Um, so yeah, download, get you some backing tracks going, and do some stuff. Just play along. Pick a key. Pick one key to rule them all. I started with the minor pentatonic and then did blues, and I said I'm not doing anything else. And then a couple of days into doing that for a couple hours, I was like, all right, what about this C sharp? And it's only C sharp is the same pattern and only starts one half step up higher. And then, each one only starts one half step up higher. On the piano, it just starts one note up higher. So if you want to learn from C, and beyond, start with C, find some C major, C minor, whatever. I would equally practice major and minor back and forth for sure. But I mean, you can. This is forever. Like 5 years into it, I still practice the same way. I just randomly do stuff. Um, I feel that it's going to help me when I move. When I move and I go get I'm getting my degree in music production and sound engineering as soon as possible. But now I got accepted to the school in London and everything, and I do want to. I'm going either. The first week of July is when I was supposed to start. It's seeming very unlikely I'm going to. Uh, Seeming very unlikely I'm going to be leaving the country in less than 3 months with how the worldwide situation is. But the program I'm doing starts every 3 months, so I'll go in September, if not July, and January, if not September, and so on and so forth. I'm really trying to go as soon as possible. I have loved my journey here thus far, but I'm definitely ready for the next, big change, which is to live in a different country and be a student again. You're always a student to whatever it is you're trying to pursue, especially in art. You're always a student, but I want to fully immerse myself in that, and I have this opportunity to do that. So, full send ahead. Um, so yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna wrap it up. I got some tunage to work on. How do you make a Whopper? Here's what you do, okay? Because believe it or not, you can actually have it your way. You walk into Burger King and you say, I would like to get a Whopper. And they'll say, do you want cheese? And you say yes or no. And then the universe will create your Whopper however you want to customize it. And you will have it. Swear. Swear. BK. Okay, that's the secret to making your own Whopper is to go ask for it and it will be made. I put cheese on every burger because I like cheese. The real question is, does anybody have relevant questions besides Kenny? No, for real though. Before, I mean, it was a lot of information earlier on. For everybody that was here before, if you tuned in later and were just listening to me jam, I had a whole spiel about music. Hey, I reached 100 messages again, Kenny. You the man. I like getting 100 messages in my chat. It's been happening recently. No questions about music theory, just random sauce. No, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. You know, the fact that I was averaging anywhere around 10 people to listen to me speak, I mean, that's just, you know, this is a brand new thing for me. I don't know what I'm doing. Words, yeah, not typically my favorite thing, but I'm starting to embrace this whole process a little bit more. I enjoy it. You know, last week the beginning part was a little tough, but I realized I need to. Huh? What Facebook questions? I don't see any Facebook questions, mother. My mother says Facebook questions as if Facebook has been asking me questions. There was one question about a CD, and I said I would absolutely love to make that CD. I'm looking, Mom. There's nothing here. I'm scrolled up a little bit. Self-taught guitar player since 2002. Never really understood scales, but knew it sounded good. Super just taught me how that worked and completely clicked. Dude, if you're still here, I'm glad that happened. I'm currently myself. My goal is to take, because at some point my playing ability and understanding of what I'm doing far surpassed my understanding of why. Um, I want to, I want to be able to have, I want to be able to have all of it. I want to know. I want to know. I want to be able to somebody look me in the face and say, what notes are in the A minor scale? Well, I know those because A minor is, see, I know a little something, something. Um, I can get into more advanced stuff, but guys, it just gets, I mean, as it gets more advanced, it's just even, the more you understand it, it gets like harder and then easier and then harder and then easier. It's like that. Like, for example, the A minor scale and the C major scale. You ready? You ready? Same exact notes. You just start at a different spot. I'm going to do it right now. Okay, Mom. I was just making sure you didn't have a question that I couldn't see, but okay. C major. All white keys and sounded like a major scale, right? Ready? Ready? A minor. Same notes. Even though I started in the wrong spot, so that wasn't it. So, aha. Yeah, that sounded not like a minor scale. Let's try this again. C major. All white keys, major scale. A minor. All white keys, started with the A note, minor scale. Every major has a relative minor with the exact same notes in it. So you can make a song that goes from happy to sad and just switch the order of chords or notes that you're playing and add some new things in. Um, it's wild. It all just works together. And Kenny is now banned from the chat. My keys. I thought about that was almost my something like that was almost my alias. You know, my keys. Some play on that. I didn't want to do that. I thought dreadlock was way better. And I took out the A and the C strictly because I was told that I had to, that my brand was supposed to be a word or something that was easy to spell and was an actual word in the dictionary. And I realized that I don't have to follow all the rules to succeed. And we have enough access to the world for that not to matter. So, yeah, no A, no C. Also, fun fact, dreadlock with no AC. I I I thought that sounded cool. If anybody would pick up on that, cuz I got the hot stuff, the hot fire. No AC. Get it? Ooh. Is that what we end on? I don't know. What do we got? What do we got? Yep. Okay. That's enough. That's enough schmuckling around. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to another super fun podcast. Gotta go open up Ableton. Do it. Do it. Do it. Open up whatever you gotta open up. Get out there. Create some music. Put on a backing track. Pull up a chart with a scale. Play that shit upwards and backwards. Play some random notes within that scale. Watch your brain start to wrap itself around the idea of music in a fun way. And then, learn whatever technicalities you need to as you go. But just have fun. That's the key. Until next time. Oh, yeah, real quick. Nope. There's still 10 of y'all here. I'm going to tell you what's going on. So, Thursday, I'm still doing my live set at 7. It's going to be an hour. None of it's going to be originals this time. It's all just going to be I got some lo-fi stuff. I got some songs that I've been dying to play and do some live remixes with. I've I've just got some stuff, some old stuff, some new stuff that I found, some stuff by my friends. No originals because Saturday on I might do it on Twitch as well just because. But Saturday I'm doing a 2-hour all original set for the Quarantine Music Festival group that has been going on. Huge, massive group of people from all over the world or country. And so from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, I'm going to be rocking all original stuff. I'm trying to today and you know today, Summer Thursday. I'm really trying to finish up a few really cool new things that nobody's ever heard for Saturday. Hopefully, I get it done. And if not, it's still going to be super fun. It's going to be some cool stuff. So, boom. Information station. Wow, I feel like this should have been the angle, even though it cuts off my head a little bit. I was jamming right here. I had the keys right here. It's good to know. Click. We learn. All right, I'm out of here. I love you guys.